Good morning, everyone. Kind of a dark and cool and breezy late fall day here in Michigan. And today we're going to be visiting the 07 Escape Hybrid again. The thermostat job turned out so well last week. I ended up getting about 15% better gas mileage overall for the week now that I've changed the thermostat. So I thought, well, with that much success, maybe today we should go ahead and change the spark plugs. I had such a hard time with those spark plugs on the Lincoln Navigator a couple weeks ago. If you want to check that video out, those were the 3-valve Triton engine spark plugs that have been a real pain in everybody's side for the last few years. But this one here looks to be a little bit easier. This is the 4-cylinder electric hybrid motor. There it is there. And look at this. We've got 4 coil-on plugs right on top. Let me show you this. We've already removed the plastic motor shroud's already been removed and set aside. That just lifts upward. You just grab a hold of it and lift it right up, and it leaves these little pins here behind. Alright, now what I've got is we've got to lift the wiring harness off of the mounting screws. There's coil-on plugs, and 1, 2, 3 of them. Those are 2 of them. Hang on. 2 of them have this little clip on the bottom where my finger is here that clips over this bolt, this stud right here, and holds the wiring harness in place. So we lift the wiring harness up firmly to remove those brackets. Then we squeeze the connector for the coil-on plug and flip it out of the way, all 4 of them, because they're lined up in order. There's no way to get them on wrong. A little bit of a tight fit here. And we kind of push the wiring harness back a little. And I've got a 8mm socket, 1/4-inch drive. It's the deep socket to go over that long stud. And you just put that on there and give it a couple of twists until it's nice and loose. I went through and loosened all 4 up. Now I'm going to switch over to my handheld tool here to zip them out really quick. And I'm going to go ahead and take all 4 of those out, and I'll be back in a second. Alright, now you can see that we've removed all 4 coil-on plug assemblies. Here's the last one. We're pulling it out right now. And we're going to set them back up here, line them up in order, 1 through 4. And the spark plugs set way down in that hole. So we're going to use my special, I love this tool, it's from AutoZone. It's the extension. It's built just for spark plugs. Has a swivel on it, a magnet grip inside, and this is a great tool. So now we're going to hook on the 3/8-inch drive ratchet handle, and we're going to take the spark plugs out of those holes. You can see the wrench fits right down in there. Yeah, let's see if we can prop it up here somehow. I don't know. We're going to try. There we go. Now we're going to give it a little twist. Oh, and it came loose pretty easy. It is in there tight, but it's coming. There we go. And it's loosening right up now. Hold on to that and give it a spin. It should be loose enough now, maybe where I can spin it by hand. When we get it out, we'll have a look at it, because I bought this car about 1.5 years ago. It had 150,000 miles on it. I didn't do any work to it since then. I don't know when the plugs were changed last. I put about 30,000 miles on the car in the last 1.5 years. Actually, probably closer to 40. Alright, here, let's pull that out, have a look. Alright. Oh, wow. These are the original spark plugs that were in the car when it was new, I do believe, because they have an odd Motorcraft part number on them that you wouldn't see if you bought these at a store. And on the tip, there's that dab of yellow paint. And that's generally something they do at the factory to indicate it's a new factory part. And as we can see, the gap on it looks fairly... well, the gap looks fairly good. The electrode's small, but that's pretty common on the newer platinum plugs. Alright, I'm going to go get a new plug now. Well, I'm pretty sure the old plug was an iridium tip premium plug, but we're going to go with the standard platinum tip traditional spark plug on it instead. they were quite a bit less expensive. They're real easy to get to on this car. And I tend to change my spark plugs more often than most people, I'd say. So probably a year from now I'll change these again with another 30,000 miles or so on them. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put you back in the holder here. Slide the spark plug into the tool so it snaps in nice and snug. Down into the hole. Finger started a few turns. Make sure it's not cross-threaded or going to give us any trouble. There it goes, nice and easy in. And I'm just going to run it right down as far as I can by hand. Get my ratchet handle here set up for tightening. Give it a few quick spins. You could use a torque wrench on this, but really you just give it a good firm hump like that, and you're good to go. Now we're very quickly, we're going to just go ahead and do all three of the next ones like this real quick. Now you can see that this whole project here looks like it's probably only going to take about 20 minutes from start to finish, which is really nice. I got to tell you, it's a really nice change of pace compared to a couple of my last projects I've worked on here for you. We're going to put you on hold. There's no sense you watching me do the same thing 3 more times. Okay, all 4 spark plugs have been securely seated in their positions. Now we're going to put the coils back in place. Carefully lift the harness up out of the way and slide them down right into place over the boot. A little grease, dielectric grease on the boot would be useful to keep them from sticking the next time you pull them out so you don't damage the boot. They just drop right in there on top of the thing. Now this one here is a little different. On this one here we had to clip the connector on. It's such a short wire on this. We clip the connector on before we drop it into place. That way we don't have to fight with the short wire later. Look at that, right into place. And now we got the 4 studs. They're all the same. They go in there. 1, 2. Sorry about that. 3. Maybe 3. There you go, 3. And 4's here. Actually, I shouldn't say 4. This is number 1 cylinders on this side. There we go, that's in. Take my quick tightening screwdriver tool. We're going to tighten all 4 of these down with this long-handled screw, and then final tighten them with the socket. Okay, all 4 plugs are tightened down. We got that coil wire on. And I'm going to do number 3. Just snap it right in place. There we go. Number 2. And number 1. Oops, sorry. Gotta be following your camera, don't they? Number 1, 2, 3. 3 didn't seem to want to click. Have to keep an eye on number 3. Number 3 did not actually latch into place. It did not click like it's supposed to, which could mean a bad plug on the end. Oh, there it goes. We got it. We had to lift up a little on the end, and it clicked in. All right, good. And now we've got the 2 little brackets here I was telling you about on the end here that you're going to push down over the stud to hold the wiring harness in place. There's one there, and there's one down here on the number 1. And that's in place. This is good. Everything's tight and together. Now, one-handed, we're going to try this here. We're going to put the motor cover back in place. And this has 4 little pins. You push down gently. All 4 snap into place by pushing down gently. And here it is. Now we're going to start it up and make sure it runs. And it's running. So we've just did the spark plugs ourselves. We've saved a bunch of money, and it's something that you can do. You can do this yourself, a little bit of research, and you can save some money. Thanks for joining me, and have a good day. Be sure to check out my other videos on how to do things yourself, and some other historical videos I like to do too, looking at old historic things. And I hope you enjoy my channel. The next video we're going to do, coming up next, we'll give you a preview of the next video. It's going to be about the Escape Hybrid and how the technology in the hybrid actually works. As you can see, the engine compartment under here is a little different than what you might be used to seeing. So we'll talk about that in our next video. Bye.